Smart contracts are a fairly broad concept. They're used to execute code without a human being the one to pull the trigger. We say they are self-executing and self-enforcing. One of the major underlying components behind cryptocurrencies is called blockchain. The blockchain is just what it sounds like. It's a chain of data blocks that are linked or chained together. Each block contains a pointer to the previous block. Blocks can't be removed or edited. They can only be added to the chain. Don't overthink it. It's really as simple as that. Bitcoin combined the blockchain method of data storage with a distributed peer-to-peer system that makes each member of the system verify that their version of the blockchain is identical to their neighbor's version of the blockchain. In this way, network consensus can occur. If someone tries to add an illegal block to the chain, it will quickly be rejected by the rest of the network because of this consensus system. This makes distributed blockchains immutable or unchangeable. We often say these systems are trustless, meaning that there is no central authority, and especially no human that is a central authority in the system. The computer code all runs on its own. A trustless system is one where trust doesn't even factor into the system. The code just runs. No one human says start or stop. No malicious code can gain traction because of the consensus system we talked about, and no transactions can be rolled back. There are many more videos on YouTube that go into much more depth on these concepts, and I'll link to a few in the comments. But that's the gist of it. That's what you need to understand to get started with smart contracts. The first implementation of this technology was with Bitcoin, where the data in the blocks in the chain consisted of financial transactions. Each block would say what address sent Bitcoin to another address in that time period. For Bitcoin, each block represents about 10 minutes. But even before Bitcoin was released to the public, people started realizing that this combination of technologies we now collectively call blockchain technology could store more than just financial transactions. An early example was for intellectual property. Bitcoin transactions each had a sort of memo field in them, sort of like when you write a check and it has a memo, you can put anything in there. It doesn't have anything to do with the transaction, but it's just for humans to read. In Bitcoin, there's a memo field, and you can put plain text information in there. A website called Proof of Existence would allow you to upload what's called a digest of a document and put that in the memo field in a transaction. Once that transaction was in a block, it was there on the immutable blockchain for all time. If you had that digest, you could prove that you were the original author of the document. So then people also realized that you could put basic computer code in that memo field to create what are called conditional payments. If something happens, then send the money. If that thing doesn't happen, send the money back to the original sender. This type of conditional transaction is what we now call smart contracts. Smart contracts are computer code that is stored in an immutable blockchain. 2013, and a new blockchain and cryptocurrency was designed called Ethereum. This new virtual machine was designed from the ground up with smart contracts in mind. Ethereum added a few new elements to the mix and solved some of the problems Bitcoiners were having with the limited smart contract functionality that platform had. Today, there are many systems that support smart contracts. We're going to explore a few of them on this channel. We'll start with Ethereum since it is currently the most popular. In this industry, things change by the day, so we'll see when this video is published if that's still the case, but I think it will be. We'll use a programming language called Solidity to create smart contracts that will deploy on the Ethereum blockchain.